Mr. Short on item number 5.
Dr. Short. Item number 5, administration will be seeking approval of the new contract between the district and Student Transportation of America, or STA, for student transportation services during the 7 fiscal years of 2019-2020 through 2025-2026. Just a few other details in regards to this. I'm very excited about maintaining this relationship. It's been will be 7 years during the life of the contract. Again, with a trusted vendor who's done a great job during the past 6 years transporting the district students. We're maintaining a business located in the district with a close strategic proximity to the district's main campus. That's good for a lot of reasons, in case we would have to evacuate, as well as some of our calculations for state subsidy between miles with and miles without students. So again, important with that. New contract actually solves a problem. Specifically, Verizon will no longer be supporting the district's current GPS devices in approximately 1 year or less. Thus, new GPS boxes will need to be updated via purchase and the required installation by the district, which is an expensive venture, which the district currently has done and will no longer have to do that. Thus, all vehicles will now have GPS, including spare vehicles. Currently, not all vehicles have GPS. District will no longer need to pay Verizon for wireless cellular fees and no longer need to pay Edulog for EduTracker GPS software maintenance. It gets us completely out of the GPS business, which we shouldn't be in anyways. The new Zonar GPS actually has more features than the district's current GPS, so another win with this contract. Another item is that STA would upgrade all existing cameras to Angel Tracks, new camera system over what we have currently. And an item that we're also excited about is that STA will provide scoreboard sponsorship in the amount of $315,000, donated up front and not dispersed in annual amounts during each of the 7 years of the new contract. So again, they will pay for a new scoreboard. And as part of that, the district will be able to generate advertising revenue from the new scoreboard. So again, another little bit of icing on the cake.
That's excellent news. Thanks, Mr. Short.
Thank you, Mr. Short. If we can go on item number 6, Mr. Short as well.
Mr. Short, could you talk about some of the other bus companies that you considered, just so the folks recognize that due diligence was demonstrated? This is a pretty substantial contract, yes?
Sure, most certainly. Yeah, typically what we've done, a little bit of history lesson in terms of the district's transportation. Prior to the district retaining STA for the first contract, the district did go out for an RFP. At that particular time, there were a number of issues that led to that decision, and it was in the best interest to move in that direction. The current relationship we've had with STA has been amazing, and Mrs. Isha can attest to that, working with them on a day-to-day basis. And it made sense to maintain that relationship moving forward with them in light of and in consideration of other options available around us. We felt it was in our best interest to maintain a long-term relationship with STA.
Can you touch on the propane savings too that you had put in your
Sure. Yeah,
Friday?
one of the other things that we will maintain is that, and I'm not sure what the percentage is right offhand, but a large amount of our buses are propane powered, and there's a significant amount of advantages that come from that. Not the first and foremost everyone thinks about is the cost. Currently, we're paying $1.14 per gallon for propane, and well, the other thing, and hopefully, Congress will decide to maintain the alternative fuels credit for that. So we would essentially, what we would purchase during the current 2018 calendar year, we would get 50 cents per gallon back. So again, that takes that amount, that net amount, to below $1, which is very good for the district as well.
Was our previous bus company diesel?
Yeah, diesel fuel, correct. One of the other nice things, again, with the green technology, but one of the other great things with the propane buses is student management, because they're so much quieter. The bus driver can really hear what's going on those buses instead of the roar of the loud diesel engine. I mean, it's like night and day. I mean, even if you just stand behind one of those when it's idling and there's no exhaust coming out of it that you wouldn't be able to recognize like you couldn't with a diesel, getting anywhere near a diesel vehicle for that. So, again, a lot of other advantages that made it easy to maintain this relationship with STA.
And Gateway was one of the first districts to go with the propane buses as well.
We were one of the first districts in Western PA, and obviously in the magnitude of taking our fleet and coming out with almost entire propane-powered fleet.
And they don't have any starting issues either when it's very, very cold out.
Correct.
That's eliminated. There's not an issue at that point at all.
And that saves on fuel as well, when you can just get into a vehicle and hit the key and drive it, as opposed to with diesel, they would have to go in, the mechanics will go in early in the morning, start them up, let them run. They would have to put fuel treatments in there as well to keep it gelling up. So it saves a lot of issues. So in the event that it's, 20, 30 below windshield, we don't have issues with our buses. Our buses will go.
And one of the biggest advantages is the location of the actual bus garage, which is probably 2 miles, 3 miles away from the actual campus here, which does allow for those emergencies whenever we would need a bus and/or drivers who would call off and are able to make our runs.
Can I put you on the spot? Mrs. Isha, can you comment on their problem resolution as compared to previous contracts? How are they when you have an issue?
We have the manager at the garage. She's very diligent. She's up on all the latest safety things with the drivers, and she is very on beat with every one of them. She's always on top of issues. We had one in the recent week, and she brought the driver in. She's makes them come in for additional training. I mean, I think they do a great job as far as that goes.
Compared with what we've had in the past, and I think Bonnie can attest to this, without naming other companies, that we have been very, very pleased as a district with the
Very
relationship with the
fortunate.
SDA.
Okay, anybody else?
Paul, have you gotten calls about the propane use by other managers, other districts?
We have. I know myself and Ron Farrick, who will actually be in attendance at next week's meeting as well, himself, and also Paul Fickner from STA. It's probably been three years now. Ron and I actually put a presentation on down at the IU where he actually brought in one of the propane-powered vehicles, and we talked about that. I talked about from my perspective from the school district, his in terms of the contractor, and quite a few business managers didn't even know about this being available, and it really opened up some
You think
minds.
it's coming in the future, that's going to be the way to go?
It definitely is.
Yes.
Definitely is.
Pine Richland School District jumped
Yeah.
on board soon after a number of other
That's what I thought.
prominent districts.
Any other questions on item 5 before we move on?